Hi, my name is Heather, and welcome to another episode of Cover to Cover, my series where I share my journey creating my children's book, Platty's Perfect Day. In the last episode, I finished up the layout and the cover of the book. And in this episode, I'm going to share the process with you of publishing to IngramSpark. And I did successfully publish through IngramSpark, and the book is now available on Amazon since IngramSpark will push it to Amazon. And I got my book in the mail, and this is the book. But first, let's go jump over the computer and I'll show you the process on IngramSpark. Although feel free to fast forward if you just want to skip to hearing about the book and the quality and what I think about IngramSpark versus KDP. I'm on IngramSpark and I had already created an account beforehand, so I'm just logging in. Here I'm just going to pick print book only because for now I'm just doing the print book. And I do have all my files ready, so I'm just going to check those and I want to distribute it. So I'm going to pick the print, distribute, and sell because that's going to allow me to have it up on Amazon. So here's all the info for the book. So I'm just filling that stuff out. And my ISBN, I actually got it from Bowker because I have some that someone bought and they let me use them. So I'm entering that here. But you can choose to receive a free ISBN from IngramSpark if you want. So if you want to do that, you would just check the little box for that. And then I had to check that I own the copyright because it is my art. And now I'm adding myself as an author here. And I'm just going to fill out this extra info. And for my biography, I just figured I would copy it from the back of my book and just paste it in. And this is my imprint. The imprint is just the name of the publisher. Now I'm just adding my subject for the book. So I'm going to go into juvenile fiction and I'm picking animals, emotions, and friendship. For my audience, definitely juvenile, which is a child from age 0 to 12. And then I just added an age range here and a grade range. And if you're unsure about those, there is a website where you can put the text of your book in and it will kind of give you an idea of it. But it isn't a human doing it, so you can't rely on it completely, but it is good to just kind of help you get an idea. For the description of the book, I'm just going to copy that from the back of my book and just paste it in. Here I'm adding some keywords. So for these, I'm putting multi-word phrases that people might search for in order to find my book. And here I'm just picking my trim size, which is 8.5 by 8.5. And I definitely want color for the interior. And this part is where it kind of tripped me up a little bit. So I picked ultra premium color for the inside pages, which you'll see I'll end up changing later. I picked paperback and perfect bound and glossy cover. For duplex enabled, I checked yes because that is how I got that cool printing on the inside of the cover. That was by doing duplex enabled. So that means I have 2 pages for my cover and one is the outside and one is the inside. So then I just entered my page count here, which is 28. Now this is the part that was a little crazy for me. It kind of tripped me up. I tried to put the price as the same as my other book, Mouse's Great Discovery, which I published on KDP, and it would have negative compensation. So I tried 15 and it said $1 compensation. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't want to have to make my book like $20 just to make $3 profit. But I guess it makes sense because Amazon would be making a cut and IngramSpark would be making a cut, as opposed to when you post on KDP and only Amazon needs to make a cut. And so this is where I decided to change from ultra premium color to premium color, even though I obviously would love to have it be the best quality. But premium color is actually the same exact specs as KDP's inside pages, so at least it's not going to be worse than KDP. And this way I can actually make some kind of profit. So after I changed that, my printing cost went down a lot, like $2. But the duplex enabled part, where I could have the printing on the inside of the cover, that didn't change it too much, so I decided to keep that. And now I could actually have it at a somewhat normal price, $15. And then I would make like $2.45 per sale. So that sounded a lot better to me. For the returns, you have a few different options. If a customer decides to return a book that they bought, you can either have it where they would destroy the copy, but you still have to pay for the printing costs, or they send you the book and then you have to pay for it then as well. Or you can just not allow returns, and they don't recommend that you don't allow returns, but I didn't really want to have to deal with that, so I just said no returns. But when I checked out on Amazon and bought my book, I didn't really see anything about there not being a return, so I think it's okay for Amazon customers, but I don't know if it'll affect people buying the books for their bookstores. I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. Then these are just some things that I have to check for the different policies, and I filled out the options for the rest of the regions as well. For look inside the book, I definitely want that enabled on Amazon. And for the publication date, of course, it does depend on when IngramSpark approves your book, so I was just kind of hopeful and put it a few days in the future. For the on sale date, if you just leave it blank, it's going to be the same as the publication date. So I just left it blank and then clicked continue. And here's where I'm just going to upload my files. So the interior specifications were exactly the same as KDP. So that was actually perfect. I was able to use the same file I had already made when I was originally planning to publish it to KDP, and I didn't have to change anything. The cover file was just a little bit different, so the spine width was a teeny bit different. The bleed settings were all the same though. So I just had to make that small adjustment for the bigger spine width, and I'll definitely make a tutorial on that, so stay tuned for those. And I'll add it to my templates that I have for sale on my shop as well. So here I'm uploading my print cover. And as I mentioned earlier, this is actually 2 pages because I chose the duplex printing. So the first page of the PDF is the outside cover, and then the second page of the PDF is the inside cover that has the pattern on it. So I'm just uploading that. Then I'm going to click continue. And then I just have to check this little box under book submission that everything I made was what I wanted, and final decisions. And now it says that it's done. So it did take a while for me to get the digital proof of my book to review and approve, although also I think it just felt like a long time. But I did do it on a Friday, so then it took like the whole weekend, which they probably weren't in the office. Then it was a few days after that. Now I've gotten the email and they said they need my approval. So I just went to my bookshelf and I clicked on the book. And then if I go to print info, I could click download proof. Here is the PDF proof, which just has some guidelines and stuff that you can look over. And it does say that your proofs shouldn't be used to evaluate the color or print quality because, of course, it's never going to look the same in print as it is on the computer screen. And then there might be some little hairlines in there, and if so, that's okay. You can ignore them. And here's my proof. You can see the crop marks on here. So don't think that the whole back is going to have all that white on the edge because there are crop marks, so that shows where it's going to be cut. And here's my inside part of the cover with the pattern. And then here it just shows the front of the book and the inside of the front cover. And then here's my title page and my copyright page and dedication, and then just all the pages after that. So I just scrolled through and made sure everything looked good. And now that I've downloaded it and looked at it, I just go back to the home page and click approve. So here I'm just checking that I approve it for me purchasing it and for retailers like Amazon. And for promoting, I just pick no. I'll probably look into what that is later. So now it's submitted. And as soon as I approved it, then I was able to actually order copies, which was awesome. So it took a while for it to show up on Amazon, but I could order my own author copies right away. And it's just the print cost plus some shipping. So I did 10 author copies here, and it came out to about $6 a book with the shipping. Now let's go jump over to the book review. Now that I've shared with you the publishing process on IngramSpark, here's the book that I got. And I just wanted to share some thoughts about the book and the quality and comparing it to KDP. This is my book that I published on KDP, and this is the book that I published on IngramSpark. And when I first opened up the package for the IngramSpark book, I definitely noticed that the books were like very shiny and nice, thick quality, and it looks really good. The one from KDP does seem comparable. They do both have the nice glossy coating, and the covers are both pretty thick. And then one thing I was super excited about was that you can actually print on the inside of the cover. So I put this pattern here because when I was younger, I used to love when they showed the patterns on the inside of the books. So these are just random illustrations from inside the book. And as far as the paper inside goes, actually, I kind of like KDP's better because it's somewhat glossy. It's like a semi-gloss, but the one from IngramSpark is actually more matte looking. There was an option for the inside pages to be like one level up in quality, but it made the price a lot more. So that's why I decided to just go with these pages because I wanted to make some kind of profit. One of the biggest things that I noticed from IngramSpark versus KDP is consistency. I ordered author copies from IngramSpark, and then I also ordered a copy off Amazon because I wanted to see if they would be the same. And they were exactly the same. The same quality, the same finish, everything looked exactly the same. And that is a huge difference from KDP. When you order a book from KDP, it can be different depending on who printed your book because it's printed from all different places all over the US. I don't know exactly how IngramSpark does it, but I definitely found that their books were consistent from the different places that I ordered them from. I've heard a lot of people say that author copies from KDP will come out as a different quality than when they order from Amazon. Also, I ordered my friend's book from Amazon and he published his on KDP. It's The Shy Little Cloud Finds New Friends, which is super cute, by the way. This book has all kinds of banding along the top, and it looks so bad on almost every page. It has these lines across the top of the page. So it was printed poorly. So I contacted Amazon and went through the return process, and they said that I don't have to return this book. But that's an example of the consistency difference that you'll come across when you publish on Amazon KDP. You'll get some books that look great and some books don't. Sometimes the colors will be duller, sometimes they'll be brighter. And so at least with IngramSpark, you know exactly what the book is going to look like because at least as far as I've experienced, it's consistent. So I'll show you some of my inside pages. So here's the cover, Platty's Perfect Day. I just have like a duplicate of the cover in here as my title page. Here's my little dedication, dedicated to all the introverts. These are my favorite pages right here. I don't know why, but I think I just really love the little vignettes on the white background and then like the text going around them and stuff. And also I had fun doing Platty's different outfits. Here's Platty's house, which if you were watching my episodes before this, then you might have noticed that I added a lot more to the house because I just felt like it looked kind of lifeless and boring, so I wanted to add some things here. I put some little lily pads and a frog and a little grasshopper. And I love adding the little extra item here on the page that has text on it. There's Platty sitting cozy on his little chair under his blanket. I like this spread a lot too. I added a lot to the top of the fireplace. I put a little jar of Platty's little treasures that he picked up from outside. So he collects those every once in a while, like if he sees a feather that looks cute or a leaf. Here's the animals all playing together on the swings. Here's the back cover, which you may have seen me design in the last video. I think that came out really nice, and I like the nice clean white look with just some pops of color. I'm super excited that my book is up now, and it was so fun sharing the journey with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the book, and have you used IngramSpark? Have you used KDP? And what do you think of each one? That's it for this episode. I hope you had fun sharing this journey with me. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments, or you can email me at heather@heathercash.com. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.